What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overload here. We're going to be talking about Scream 7 in this video here today, going over some of the things I've been hearing about the upcoming 7th film, because as you see in the title, it apparently is really good. So I'm going to be addressing that once more and going over these recent comments from Kevin Williamson and Chris Landon from the Your Favorite Scary Movie book. Just more so, I want to highlight Kevin Williamson's comments because it relates to what I've been hearing about Scream 7. But let's start off by discussing some of these comments. Starting off here with Kevin Williamson's revelation in this book, which I could have sworn he said this in the past in another interview. But Kevin Williamson revealed that his favorite Scream sequel is Scream 6. Now, I'm sure a lot of people online started running around like headless chickens over this because some people just cannot stand Scream 6. But he said it was one chase scene after another. It was so wonderful. I thought the set pieces in Scream 6 were awesome and I loved it. Being a part of Scream 5 and 6 has been a blessed experience. I'm glad that it's living on because now I finally see a pathway that Scream can sit on the mantle next to Halloween and Friday the 13th as a franchise. With 1 and 2 and 3, I never felt like it was a franchise. They made 4 before didn't do so well. Now with 5 and 6 and knowing that there's going to be a 7, I truly feel like Scream is part of horror history. So then Chris Landon went on to recap his experience with Scream 7 related to the fallout from Melissa Barrera being fired. And this was again all in the Your Favorite Scary Movie book. He says in relation to the threats that were sent his way, they were all screaming at someone who wasn't even on the movie anymore. There were a lot of people who thought I was some sort of villain. That really got in my head. It was painful, and it was painful to lose a dream job in such a sudden and bizarre way. There was no movie anymore. The whole script was about her. I didn't sign on to make a Scream movie. I signed on to make that movie. When that movie no longer existed, I moved on. Now, some have shown their brains aren't exactly capable of understanding this simple disclosure from Mr. Landon and went, well, I'm glad he's gone, because if you didn't want to direct a Scream movie, then you shouldn't be here to begin with. Yeah, I don't know why so many people just either do not understand simple words or want to just insist on playing dumb. All Landon meant was that he was hired to direct a specific Scream movie that was centered around Sam Carpenter and not just any old movie. So he's done because it's not that movie. It was that simple. The Scream movie that he had been hired to direct was not about Sidney Prescott, according to what has been coming out from this book and what has been slowly coming out from the trades over the last year and a half at this point. I think Landon would have given us a unique sequel. Maybe some of you agree with that, but I wanted to say that despite this, I'm hearing Kevin has cooked up another quality entry for this franchise. The individual Jude over on Twitter, who has been right about several things in some of his latest posts, put this tweet up recently, and this is a spot-on description of what I've heard about 7. 7 has an opening that could come the third best if executed correctly. Lot of payoff moments for things in the works since Scream 1. A big payoff moment between Sidney and Gale, which is undoubtedly going to feel like a cozy moment considering everything they've been through. Stu Thursday being fed a meal I think is perfect for someone who is still 6 feet deep. I'm hearing a lot of praise for Isabel May and Neve Campbell. Campbell's work as Sidney is the one I just have to fixate on because that's who matters here the most. If these alleged 40 minutes are well spent, I'm certain 7 will become Sidney's best outing. In fact, I'm hearing that's exactly what it is. It's her best work apparently since Scream 3. Now, to be fair, I don't think it's unreasonable for me to then say that's an easy feat because it's been pretty light work for Sidney ever since Scream 3. So giving her more intense moments quickly makes this the best since Scream 3 because it had, not that there haven't been intense moments in 4 and 5, but not like back-to-back intense moments like what we see throughout Scream 1 and 3. That's not present in Scream 4 and 5, at least not to me. So giving her more intense moments quickly will just make this the best since 3. That's an easy layup. I'm not going to dive into specifics, of course, but the mother-daughter material is really heartfelt on paper, the stuff between Sidney and Tatum. What they're doing with Tatum, I would say, is something I could see myself just easily latching onto as a viewer and understanding her perspective, but also wanting her to understand where her mother is coming from. So they've done a good job on paper, at least, because I have to see how it's executed. Execution is everything. They've done a great job setting up this kind of divide between generations and what is apparent, of course, between mother and daughter. It's like Kevin Williamson heard my concerns, and I'm slowly feeling more at ease with all the info I've slowly been learning over the last 4 months or so. Now remember, Kevin Williamson said that Scream 6 is his favorite. Even though Guy Busick wrote this, I assure you Kevin's influence has enhanced whatever was originally on paper, and I say that as someone who loves Scream 5 and 6. But I believe he means it when he says 6 is his favorite, especially when I consider the shakeups and how Ghostface is revealed. I think Killjoy Jake has kind of teased this in the past on his channel. But if nothing changes, we have a kind of reveal that has never happened like this before. And I can't say it doesn't remind me of what they just did in Scream 6. And the nuggets of the motive that have been shared with me definitely scream right up Guy Busick's alley. I don't think Kevin Williamson wrote this. And it's in alignment with Scream 4 and 5. I don't mean 6. For anyone that wants to interject down below and say that I misspoke. No, I don't mean Scream 6. I do mean what I just said. The motive reminds me of Scream 4 and Scream 5. Now, as far as a surprise cameo, I must say I'm floored, as I never expected or even considered this person. I'm curious to see what the reaction is to their appearance. It's not Scream 5 or 6 cast. Doesn't mean there aren't other surprises, but this particular star is not from the last 2 movies. Someone very close to Sidney's story is in this film from the original trilogy. So it's not somebody who is close to Sam's story. It's not going to be anyone like that. That doesn't mean that there aren't some surprises from 5 and 6. I'm just saying that this particular person is someone that's in alignment with what you've been getting announced related to your Scott Foleys and your Matthew Lillards. There's somebody else very close to that original trilogy who is included in this narrative. But what I'm hearing is that the film is apparently quite good. That does make me happy to a degree, because of the fact that I have been stressing I don't want this to be the first turd in the franchise. I am very happy with the direction they are taking the story in terms of the motive. But again, all of this is just on paper. I have to see how it's executed. And I want to also double down on the fact that this is similar to what was going on with 5 and 6. 5 and 6 also had a lot of buzz surrounding them in terms of being overly positive out the gate. Not even just from critics, but even before critic reactions started coming out, there was just a lot of positive buzz circulating online about 5 and 6 and how it was being received internally. Just because 7 is being received well doesn't mean you're going to come out on the other end thinking that 7 is the best thing since sliced bread. You could end up thinking it's just as bad as Scream 5 and 6, because a lot of you, again, dog walk the fuck out of Scream 5 and 6. I'm just trying to be fair with you. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notification, name is video. In the description, I have links to all my social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there, of course. Let me know if there are any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.